So as you all know by now, there have been peaceful protests springing up in all cities across the country to protest what they view as an injustice. Unfortunately, there's also been a lot of rioting and looting that has been springing up as well. Now, there are some people that like to conflate the two of those things together, the peaceful protesters and the rioters/looters. But as it stands right now, we have no information to say whether or not there is any overlap. And if there is any overlap, to what extent? People are speculating. They're making conjecture without any evidence. So we can't really say. Unfortunately, Donald Trump, the president of the United States, is one of those people that's conflating rioters and looters and peaceful protesters, and he's using that to crack down on peaceful protests. Take a look at a portion of his speech that he gave yesterday, where he announced that he might use the military, send them into cities in order to crack down on these protests.
But we cannot allow the righteous cries and peaceful protesters to be drowned out by an angry mob. The biggest victims of the rioting are peace-loving citizens in our poorest communities. And as their president, I will fight to keep them safe. I will fight to protect you. I am your president of law and order and an ally of all peaceful protesters.
Within the last 15 minutes, mounted police have been coming down the street. You're going to see them in the frame now, using flashbangs in front of them and mounted police to clear what has been an entirely peaceful protest. Not 98%, not 99%, but 100% peaceful protest here today. People there was no throwing of water bottles, there was no throwing of objects, but a short time ago, mounted police officers have been clearing the street. Tony, if you can pan to the right, I want to show the military police.
Third world country.
So keep this in mind, that as he's saying that he is an ally to peaceful protesters, and as he's recognizing that people causing chaos, these rioters and looters, are ruining the optics of these peaceful protesters, he himself is cracking down on a peaceful protest. Those spliced segments that were in there are the peaceful protests happening in Washington, D.C. that he's cracking down on. He's cracking down on those protests himself. And I included that news clip there so you have additional evidence that the people were protesting peacefully. PPP, people protesting peacefully. The newsman said it himself, that no bottles were thrown, the people are acting peacefully. So under what pretense are these cops able to then gas, rubber bullet, pepper pellet these protesters? For what reason? Because he's cracking down on their right to peacefully gather. That's what it comes down to. He there is saying that he's the president of law and order. Meanwhile, he's creating this chaos. Take a look at what a rubber bullet looks like. Even though it's rubber, that's not something that you want to get hit with. That's not something that looks pretty. People have been shot in the eyes and have lost their eyes. People are getting concussions. These things are dangerous. No joke about it. So I don't know why Donald Trump is sending the military in to crack down on peaceful protests when it looks like the cops are having an okay time doing it themselves. Also keep in mind that some police forces in the United States and some cities are bigger than the entire military budget of some countries. That's how powerful these police forces are. Mike Bloomberg once said that he has the 7th largest army in the world in reference to the NYPD. So there's no need to send in the military. There's no reason to do that aside from Maybe this photo op that he wanted to do, where he awkwardly held a Bible. He walked all the way from the White House to a church so he could hold a Bible in front of it. Because he wanted to do a show of force because people were making fun of him for being in his bunker. This is cowardly. This is cowardly. There's literally no need for the military to walk the streets of cities in the United States when we have police forces that are handling themselves just fine. And by just fine, I mean as they tear gas people that are peacefully protesting, shoot rubber bullets at people that are peacefully protesting, mace people that are defenseless, kids, shoot at pregnant women, you know, the whole nine. This is utterly disgusting. Especially what's been going on in our country the past few days. How dystopian is this? So we need to get this guy out of office. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This guy can't last another 4 years as president of the United States. We can't have this. It's dangerous. These are dangerous steps that we're taking here, and I don't say that lightly. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Agree or disagree, let's have a conversation. And subscribe to join the political revolution against mainstream media. CNN, MSNBC, they're bought and paid for. Independent progressive media is the path forward. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.